Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient. Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient.
This is Beyond the Margins, where we go deeper into story, creativity, and the courage it takes to speak your truth. Join host Jen Chambers each week for writing inspiration, conversations with creative minds, the yearly 12-week Artist Sway series, or the Write Your Story series, all designed to help you find, shape, and share your voice. Because your story doesn't end on the page, it begins beyond the margins.
Hello, I'm Jen Chambers, and this is Beyond the Margins. Today, we're going to talk about some advice that I was lucky enough to get from a few podcasters that I know. I wanted to talk today a little bit more about my podcasting class that's coming up all over the state of Oregon. And with that, I wanted to add some advice from people who've done it for a while, people who've been there. And I'm lucky enough to be part of a group who has a lot of podcasters that are connected, and I've been connected with other podcasters through my own work, which is really fun. So I thought that I would share their responses with these questions. The people who I had responding are Jema Pantel, the Organized Chaos Stories with Shabana, Kina from the Midlife Butterfly podcast, Dana Hunter Fredella from the Girls Who Recover Her Next Level podcast, and Casey from the Inner Spark podcast. I'm going to do this as a series, so there'll be more responses from other people as time goes by, but I thought this was just a really good start with people who I know and I trust, and I thought that the audience would be interested in their responses, as well as having it be part of my class. Some of the things they wish they had known when they started podcasting is the first question that I asked them. And the answer that I first got really encapsulates all of it. How easy it can be if you don't overcomplicate it. So important. Just do it. Just start. That was what I was really afraid of. One of the things is how complicated podcasting would be when I first started taking classes about it. But it's not so bad. You just have to learn. The second thing is that it's easier than I thought it was going to be, said another responder, and I thought that's also very, very appropriate. It's really not that hard. It's not rocket science. It's got a trick or two to it, but it's pretty fun. And you learn as you go with a lot of things. You just have to jump in. The third thing that someone wished that they would have known is that it takes time for the whole production of editing a podcast episode. And that's also true. You know, it's easy to do it in a lot of ways, but it does take time to learn it, and to give yourself that grace is really important. The next person said how important their podcast mastermind would be. I've been lucky enough to be part of a podcast mastermind for several years now, and they're great friends. Most of them are people who are responding today. But having that community of podcasters is important to me in my podcasting classes. So I am generating open podcasting hours monthly so that people can connect and become that community for themselves. It's really nice to have other people to bounce ideas off of, challenges that you might have, leads for interviews, things like that. It's just really nice to have that community, and I was lucky we created it ourselves. The next thing is that it can be both fun and easy, one of my respondents said. It doesn't have to be super organized or planned out. The main reason we listen to podcasts is to connect deeply and authentically with someone. And that's true also. It kind of goes with the theme, right? Just do it. Just let it be fun. The next one is that they don't have to say yes to everyone who pitches to be on your show. That is so important. They say, I get to vet who feels aligned, and I don't have to publish every interview I record. That is a hard one to learn. Because I care about everyone who is generous enough of their time to be interviewed by me, but sometimes it just doesn't fit or it doesn't work out. And it's really stressful when you have to say no, but that's a good boundary to set. You're allowed. The last thing that they wish that they had known was the importance of sharing your voice and how impactful it can be for yourself and others. That is the main reason to podcast. Your voice is important. Your story is important. And it can be crazy impactful. You just don't know where it's going to go. I asked them if they had guests that stood out as being memorable and why that might be. One of them mentioned another person in this group, Casey Tayton, who is authentic, real, vulnerable, relatable, and genuine. And I very much urge you guys to listen to the Inner Spark podcast and listen to Casey. She's a good friend and an incredible person to interview. And that's the person that you should aim for, I think. Really try and aim for people who are extraordinary. I do believe that you can find something extraordinary about a lot of people, but when you find a person who is special, like Casey, they make a really, really interesting interview. And a lot of that is the impact that they have on other people, which is why it's fun to share with your audience. Another person said that each of my interviews stand out in their own way, which is, I also like that because it's true. I mean, you find something incredible about every person that you interview. And interviewing is a really fun way to explore the way that you feel about things too. I asked them if their episodes or if their podcasts are episodic or interview only or solos or other. I wanted to know how they organize their shows, because that's a question I get in a lot of my podcasting classes when I teach people. And of course, the final answer is you can do whatever you want because it's your show. But that being said, there are certain things that we're used to in other podcasts, right? Solos. One of my respondents said, a person said, I do solos mainly, and then I guest from time to time, and then I do special series on Monday. That's a really cool thing to do. I do bonus episodes like that, and I do special series myself. I do a Artist's Way series once a year, maybe a couple times a year. I do a beginning writing series, how to tell your story series. You know, it's all what works within your format, but it's kind of nice to think about it organizationally. Another person says that they do solos and interviews, and they handle it with episodes and not seasons. To keep it organized, this is my friend Kina, I believe. She has all the productions and all the docs in Google Drive. She's got this crazy awesome spreadsheet with details and how the flow things go. She's made email templates for communications, and she created a guest submission form to save time and also to save energy and to filter out people who are a good fit for her podcast. That's a really good one and a great tip. I have that also. It's nice because not everybody is going to be a good fit, and it's nice to be able to, filter them out if your energy doesn't match or your missions don't match. No harm, no foul. It's easier to filter it out that way. And she also bought an external hard drive to keep the audios and video recordings and the show notes and stuff. It does take up a lot of space, so that is a good note also. Then I asked them if they had valuable advice for other podcasters. Any kind of other tips and tricks. Before I close out on the previous question, I wanted to share that someone said, as far as their organization goes, they do a mix because they think it brings value to know you as well as your interviewees, and that's a really important thing. To make sure you do some solos because you are why they're there. Now, back to if they had advice for new podcasters. They say, the first respondent says, just start, even if you don't think you're ready. You can adjust anytime you need. The second says, just record something on your voice memo app first, and then download to other apps to actually produce your podcast. Editing on Descript, uploading on Buzzsprout, and to use the free versions first. Do it messy and have fun. It's more important to get your voice out there than to stay stuck in overwhelm. And boy, oh boy, is that true. It's more important. I mean, I've been saying it the whole time. Get your voice out there. Do it. Just do it. Just don't stay stuck. Just do it. That was Shabana, I believe, who said that. And incredible advice. To start somewhere and then get better. Just do it. Also, the next person says to go with the mentality of doing it forever. And that means doing it on perfect. It's a commitment because it does take a lot of time and energy and effort to pull it all together, but also that you're going to get better along the way. The next person says to let it be as fun and messy as you can. If you're trying to be anything but you, including trying to be perfect, you're missing the whole point. Boy, that is also true. That is also true. That's a really, really good one. I like that one a lot. That one's from Dana Hunter Ferdell, I believe. Being messy and doing it. Just do it. Also, she says, get help, especially from other podcasters. And that's where that mastermind group or the community part comes in. There's a lot of little tricky things. I mean, this particular episode, this is the second time I've recorded it, because the last time I recorded it yesterday and put it out, actually, it was all static. Do I know why? No, but I can redo it. And sometimes that just happens. But, and case in point, this is great. Actually, my friend, Casey, who's a podcaster also, she texted me to let me know she was trying to listen and it was all static. So pretty incredible to have friends that will help you out that way. Also, don't let the tech overwhelm you and don't focus on the numbers. If you can help one person, you're making a difference and your voice is what matters. So these were just a few responses, a real quick episode, kind of to get you enthused about podcasting if you're a new podcaster and know that it is possible, because all these people have done incredible things and are award-winning podcasters in their own right. They're all just bright lights, and I encourage you to follow them. Again, I'll say their podcasts. We've got Jema Pantel, her podcast is not currently running right now. I'll share when it is. Organized Chaos Stories with Shabana, the Midlife Butterfly podcast, and the Girls Who Recover podcast with Dana Hunter Ferdella. Also, it's going to be her next level, but you can follow the Girls Who Recover podcast for a year's worth of incredible material. And then the Inner Spark podcast. They're all wonderful, and I hope that you follow them. I thank them so much for contributing to this story today. And if you're a new podcaster, feel free and reach out via my website or my Substack. I would love to help you. And thank you for listening, and have a great day. I'll talk to you next week.
Our stories are